Good afternoon, everyone. We are now live in MechaniWeb's Facebook page and YouTube channel for Camtasia 2021 Essential Training. So, inviting you to please do like and share our live stream with the hashtag Camtasia Essential Training. And of course, don't forget to register and download Camtasia now. So you will see, I'll be posting the Camtasia download link in the comment section, and I'll be giving you a few minutes to download the software, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so download Camtasia here at tinyurl.com/Camtasia with MechaniWeb. And of course, we are in LinkedIn, Camtasia users worldwide, inviting you to join us in LinkedIn, and we are also in Facebook. So that's Camtasia users worldwide. Okay, so I'll be adding our instructor for this afternoon. I'll be adding Sir Jomark. Hi, Sir Jomark.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone, and welcome to Camtasia Essential Training. So today I'll be sharing to you how to create tutorial videos with Camtasia. Ayan. So, Camtasia is very easy to learn, okay, in comparison to some of other softwares out there. Okay, so let's begin. We have a lot of things to do, okay? Uh-huh. Let me share to you a quick overview of what Camtasia is. And before we begin, yes, I'm also an Autodesk certified instructor and an Adobe education leader, inviting you to please connect with me in LinkedIn. So if ever you have questions, suggestions on what should be our next training, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. I'm always there. Okay, more than SMS and Facebook. Okay, so I'm sharing to you some of our dearest educators, teachers who are making waves or teaching, who are currently teaching in YouTube. Yes, I'm sure some of you out there and some of you are planning uh, not only to be a not only to be a YouTuber but an educator as well. So creating tutorial videos are a powerful way for sharing your knowledge and making an impact. Okay, so actually I'm not really uh, an educator from the start. So to those who knows my background, I'm a mechanical engineer, and it just so happened I'm so passionate in sharing knowledge. That's why I ended up a sort of being an educator as well. And because of that drive, ayan, to help more, to reach more, okay, we've learned that creating video tutorials are very powerful in reaching out more students, making a more large positive impact. Okay, so for those who are not familiar, I'm also an author. If you're into IT, okay, one of the top massive online courses out there is a Plural site. Okay, so I'm also an author there. So I have created a few video courses there. Okay, and also I'm also an author in LinkedIn Learning. Okay, so I have a few courses there as well. Okay, and okay, uh, by being a Plural site and the LinkedIn Learning author, the recommended software, screen capture software that they recommend to their authors is definitely Camtasia. So I learned from them the techniques, the best practices on how to maximize course creation, okay, with Camtasia. So what I am currently in front of right now is what you're seeing right now. This is my current setup in making tutorial videos. Okay? So as you can see, I'm utilizing a laptop, 2 monitors, so 3 monitors. Actually, I am seeing the panel of StreamYard on the laptop side. So I have 2 lights. Okay, I have a camera that you're seeing right now. You're seeing me in that camera. What else do I have? I'm using a dynamic mic. Okay, and yeah, as you can see on the lower right, I'm also utilizing an USB interface, audio interface. So yep, feel free to ask questions, okay, with regards to the setup or anything. Okay, so if you have thoughts, questions, and suggestions, your setup, okay, might be better than mine, or if you have a limited budget, so I can help you suggest for a simple setup as well. Okay. So let me just share a quick reasons on why you should do video. Okay, not only video courses but video in general. So number one, 4 times as many people prefer to watch a video about a product rather than read about it when making a purchasing decision. Definitely. And I know some of you, if you're about to purchase something, you'll be going over to YouTube, diba? You'll be going over to YouTube, make a quick search, watch reviews. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the reason that we should create and utilize videos. Next, 2 out of 3 employees complete tasks better when instructions are provided visually and they absorb information faster. Of course, actually, me, I prefer watching videos than reading books. Okay, the experience with the watching videos are greater. I'm seeing images. They say a picture says 1,000 words. A video can have a 30 frames, 30 frames per second. So that's 30 pictures per second. And also, I'm seeing visuals. So it reinforces the learning. And if you're into learning by hearing, video as an audio as well. So yes, that's one of the impact it makes with regards to employees. So if you would like to train your employees, okay, suggesting you add a video in your human resources or OD, organizational development. Okay, and this is highly true with regards to millennials, Gen Zs, and the rise of TikTokers. Okay, so here, 7 out of 10 millennials are likely to watch a company video when shopping online. Of course, not only shopping, but it applies to everything else. So I'm also seeing a lot of young ones, Gen Zs, who actually dropped out from college and even high school to pursue a career in video making, to be an influencer in TikTok. I have seen a handful of Gen Zs out there, and surprisingly, they are making more than those who have graduated in college. So that's one. But of course, I still highly suggest, okay, that you have a degree, have that diploma as a backup. But if you think you're going to be successful, yeah, go ahead. Okay, and the learning and educational content are viewed over 1 billion times a day on YouTube. Oh, yes, That's very true. So I guess the number one search engine definitely is Google. But I'm not sure. But I think number two, when you're making an inquiry, trying to search, learn about something, definitely we had over to YouTube, right? So yes, it's time. Definitely, it's time to make videos. Okay. And online courses, course sites like Udemy, Linda is now rebranded as LinkedIn Learning. It was acquired by LinkedIn, and then LinkedIn was eventually acquired by Microsoft. So are growing tens of millions of students. Yes, so especially in this the rise, okay, of the pandemic, there's a big spike of uh, learners and profits for Udemy and other those massive online courses, MMOCs. Okay, and the most successful blog posts also include a video. When we say blog, definitely SEO is synonymous to that, right? So search engine optimization. So if you're trying to make an organic reach, include a video in your posts. Okay, and you can repurpose a lot of content by having videos. I can bring that over the audio from the video. I can bring that over to podcast. Okay. So again, once more, sharing to you the URL for you to download the Camtasia. We want you to learn Camtasia. Okay. This is our goal for this afternoon's session. Okay, so the best screen recording software for when you're creating video tutorials, when you're meeting or recordings, you're creating video lessons like what we are about to do right now. You're doing explainer videos, how to do videos, YouTube videos, webinar recordings, presentation recordings, or even recording your online classes. Okay? Demo videos, training videos, instructional videos. The go-to software for that, guys, is Camtasia. So, in addition, I made a quick search in LinkedIn for the term Camtasia. And this is the result. So, I'm seeing here a lot of e-learning developers, even those who are in marketing. Yes, because videos are used for marketing. Okay? And of course, trainers and instructional designers, they are all or highly, if you're an instructional designer not yet using Camtasia, highly suggesting you use Camtasia. Okay, so for to be in depth, so this is what my current setup is right now. You're looking at me, I'm looking to you through a mirrorless camera. I have this Ulanzi video lights, and I have this this audio interface, and that interface, my dynamic mic that I'm using right now is currently connected to that interface. And of course, don't forget as well to join our communities for you to be updated on our upcoming Camtasia tips and tricks, another live stream training. So head over to Camtasia Users Worldwide in LinkedIn and in Facebook. So without out of the way, let's now begin. So hoping you have downloaded Camtasia. So once more, Camtasia 2021 is now out. Okay, so if you're using a lower version, I just so happened I downgraded currently this afternoon. I'm using 2020. If you're using also the lower version, there's no so much difference because what we are about to learn this afternoon are the essentials. Okay, so yep, once more, 2021 Camtasia is out now, so it packs more powerful features for your video and instructional design workflows. Okay, so okay, once more, our topic is creating tutorial videos. So what I have in mind right now is because we currently do a lot of live stream training. Okay, and I would like to share to others how to trim videos. Okay, how to trim videos in YouTube's video editor. Okay, so once more, our my project that I'm going to be creating real time, guys. This afternoon is I'm going to be creating a tutorial videos on how to trim out sections to condense a live stream videos in YouTube. So sharing to you the panel for uh, YouTube's studio. So if you're into that as well, definitely this afternoon session is very beneficial. So okay, and before we begin creating those that tutorial videos, let me show to you the. Let me give you a tour of Camtasia. Okay, so I have already. I'm going to select here on the upper right record. Okay, so I hope you're seeing this. So are you seeing? I hope you're seeing now this dashed line. This rectangle with the dashed lines. So this area is currently once more. Okay, so this area is currently the dimensions set for my recorder. Okay, so once more, this is the recorder. Okay, so we're going to aim this to what screen, a tab or a software that we intend to record to. Okay, and before that, of course, even though your video is not that good looking, okay, audio is very critical. Okay, so I highly suggest you invest. And yeah, I highly suggest you invest in a good microphone. Okay, so I want you to head over to tools prior to recording. Head over to options. Ayan. Okay, so under options, this one is more straightforward in the latest release. But if you're using a lower version, highly suggesting you select the native audio or plug-in or for Camtasia, with this is actually TechSmith Camtasia 2, TSC2. Okay, and because we're not doing some sports that requires high frame rates, okay, it's okay. Or suggesting at an average you use 30 frames per second. Okay, but also if you're trying to save file size, you can also use a 15. Granted that this is only a screen capture. Okay, but if it requires higher frame rates, feel free to crank this up to 60. Okay, so if you have an audio interface, um, definitely if you have installed the driver, the audio device will be registered here. So again, this varies depending on the audio equipment you're currently using. Okay? So you may be using an M audio. What else are those interfaces? But of course, if you don't have, you can use the audio of your laptop. But of course, definitely in the future, highly suggesting you invest in a good microphone. So my audio interface is currently set, appearing here as a Focusrite analog 1 plus 2. So the Realtek is the one from coming in and out from my laptop. And of course, we have the option to do not record the microphone. And of course, we can also record the system audio. So for this training, we will not be utilizing the system audio. But if you require it, you need it to be, feel free to enable record system audio. So yep, I can also enable a camera. So I'm currently using a DSLR, a mirrorless camera. So it registers here as EOS webcam utility. I'm not sure if this one will work because the live streaming platform is currently utilizing the EOS webcam already. Okay. So if you're shy, and so what you're seeing here is the webcam of my laptop. Okay. So probably if you're shy, if you're also shy, you prefer not to initially reveal your face, diba? You have the option to not record your camera. Okay. So let me, for now, I'm going to disable recording camera. Okay. And under general, so same with the Premiere Pro. Uh, Highly, Camtasia suggests that you create a project folder wherein Camtasia will be going to save all the .trex there. I'll be showing you more about what .trex is. But prior to starting a project in Camtasia, suggesting you create a folder. Okay. So let me define what folder that is. Okay, so I have created a folder, live stream folder. I'm going to point the output folder, okay, to this folder to be organized. So I'm going to check out this open folder. Okay, let me just set this up. Fourth drive. Okay. Fourth drive task. Marketing. Marketing. Where is that? 2020 04 09 2020 2020 04 09, or I should probably, here it is, 2020 link in local, Cristel, Saudi, and live stream. Okay, so I have defined this. We do a lot of live stream training. So once more, we'll be creating a video tutorial on how to trim out sections of live stream videos in YouTube. So directing this, pointing this out to live stream, selecting OK. And this one is custom. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this one out in our comment section if ever you want to apply this type of setting in automatic file name. Okay, so This one refers out to year, month, date, hours, and minutes because once more, Camtasia, when it records, it creates a .trec file. Okay, and I want that .trec file to be named as the date and time for us to quickly determine what time that video was recorded. Okay, so this one is a best practice. Feel free to paste it down as for your automatic file name as a prefix. So selecting OK, and some of the items here that I prefer using under record and pause. I typically use, I customize this to F1. Okay, and for the stop, I normally set this to F2. So that's basically it. Once more, record F1 and F2 because some other, I'm also doing a lot of CAD tutorials, and some CAD platforms are out there are using also the function keys, and rarely some of them are using F1 and F2. Ayan guys, so F1 and F2. So once more, record F1, stop to F2. And under program, okay, so feel free to screen capture this. Glowing capture rectangle, force region to multiple of force. Of course, we want a better quality. And what's important here is under workflow. I prefer not showing countdown before recording. Okay, so when I hit F1, I prefer, okay, to immediately record right away. Okay, so that's why I typically disable show count down. And of course, for us not to have an abrupt change whenever we're showing a cursor, okay, or doing a tutorials, screen capture, we want to restore as much as possible if ever we paused or we stop recording and resume back. We want to restore the cursor location after pause. So, and of course, hide preview window after recording is stopped. Okay, so it may be going over to your tray or system bin. So minimize, I think this one is at default. If you install Camtasia, if recorder will be recorded, minimize to task bar. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, so once more, this is our recorder. I turned the camera off. For now, our intent here is not to capture any system audio, and what's turned on right now is only the microphone. Okay, and for the recording area, it's currently set to 1360 by 768. The monitor, the screen you're seeing right now, I'm utilizing a monitor with a resolution of 1920 by 1080. Okay, so I can key in here 1920 by 1080. And because this monitor is already 1920 by 1080, I can head over to this drop down and simply select full screen. Okay, guys? Full screen. Okay, and now I'm all set. If I hit F1, will now be recording. Okay, so for demonstration purposes, let me now hit F1. Okay, so if I hit F1, I'm showing you the current duration of our recording. So 9, 10. Okay, and I can quickly delete this, pause this, and simply stop this. So once more, we customize our play and stop button, play, pause, to once more F1. So I'm going to hit F1. Okay, so it paused. You're seeing here resumed right now. F1 again. So it moved to our system tray. Let me show you once more. Okay, so we're continuing now, 38, 39, going on with our recording. And if I hit F2, Okay, the recorder or it switches to our editing to Camtasia itself. Okay, so again, the one you're seeing a while ago was the Camtasia Recorder. So this is the Camtasia, the main, the Camtasia itself. And as you can see here under media, it created the file which I mentioned a while ago, having a file name extension of .trec. Okay, and under default settings, it quickly brought over because this is my first TREC. It bring that file in, and because we have just captured the screen and the recorder as I move over this CTI or current time indicator or playhead, I prefer calling that playhead. Okay, so this is what we have recorded for a span of 44 seconds. And I'm seeing here at the right 23 frames. Okay? And because a while ago we defined the project folder, let me show you the folder. As you can see, here's now the .trec file that Camtasia created. So it was recorded a few minutes ago at 2:35 p.m. 14:35. So again, that's one of the best practice for you to get organized on what the current recorded video is. Okay, and yes, in addition, I can drag and drop this either on our media bin or into our tracks. So notice as I left click and hold, drag and drop, I've created two copies of that .trec. Okay, so let me delete this. And let me just tweak in. Okay, so let me just share my screen once more and enable audio for you to hear. Ayan, so in addition, I prefer separating the video from the audio. I prefer seeing those waves. So to simply do that, I'm going to hover over our track 1, left click. So it has a yellowish glow. I'm going to right click and select separate audio and video. Okay, so let me play this for you to hear what was previously recorded. So please confirm if you're hearing the audio. Okay, so if I hit F1, I'm showing you the current duration of our recording. So 9, 10, okay? And I can quickly delete this, pause this, and simply stop this. So once more, we customize our play hit F1, I'm showing you the okay. So if I F1, I'm showing you the current duration of our recording. So to make this into stereo, again, Sir AJR underscore GJC. Ayan, I was not aware. My mic was muted. Paki-comment down. Please comment down ano yung na-miss natin, no? Okay, so pa-comment down na lang, Sir AGR underscore GJC on what was missed a while ago. So, apologies. Okay, so again, what I did a while ago, I added compression. Okay, I compressed, I leveled out as much as possible uh, this audio file. And whatever we apply, whatever effects we have applied to our tracks, it is also being reflected into our properties panel. So I can adjust the variation. Notice here, audio compression. I can remove this by simply selecting this X mark. Okay, re-adding this once more. It has a settings for custom high and medium. I prefer my workflow. I prefer having this to medium. And once more, to turn this into stereo, I'm going to enable mix to mono. Okay, and with regards to my setting, I'm going to crack the slider to the right. So notice we are enlarging, okay, the audio waves. And if I crack this up to 250, diba, we have reached our target. which is the peaks more than this horizontal line. Meron na po audio after nyo i-separate yung audio and video. Okay. So, yep, feel free to comment down if you have questions. Okay, and if there's something not clear or I have missed out. Okay, so if I play this now.
Okay, so if I hit F1, I'm showing you the current duration of our recording. So 9, 10, okay? And I can quickly delete this.
Okay, and also the reason that I prefer enlarging this track is, notice at this section, guys, and we're having background noises here actually. Okay, so this is also one of the indication that I may or you may be possibly be using the wrong microphone. So let me demo to you out. If I utilize an audio from my I utilize the microphone of my laptop. Okay, so I'm going to grab our recorder. So once more, to access the recorder is located here, guys, upper left, that red dot, record. Okay, selecting that, grabbing our recorder. This time I'm going to change microphone. I'm going to utilize the default microphone of my Realtek, of my laptop, which is a Realtek. Okay, I'm going to hit F1. Just for you to see, no? F1. Okay? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Hitting F2. Okay, so here it registers. It's currently 248, right? So I'm seeing here 248. This is the latest T-Rec that we have created. I'm going to drag and drop it here. Left click and hold. I'm going to place it here and notice the difference between the microphone that we prefer and the microphone from the laptop. Okay, so let me treat this with an audio compression as well, heading over to audio effects. In addition, once this track is selected, I can simply right click anywhere here on this panel and add to selected video. But of course, once more, best practice separating this into individual tracks, selecting this, right click, separate audio and video. Okay, adding a compression right now, selecting this, right clicking, add to selected media. Okay, mixing this to mono, typing in 250 and notice the difference. Okay, so I hope you're seeing and hearing this now clearly. So let me show you the difference between utilizing a microphone with an audio interface and the microphone of your laptop. One, okay? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy. Of course, siyempre, with the current hardware, your hardware limitations, of course, we can still crank that up, improve that up by adding noise removals and audio compression as well. Okay, so it's okay if you do not have me as well. I started out using this type of setup, but definitely as time goes by, definitely you'll be opting to have more better gas. No, it's called gas gear acquisition syndrome. One, okay, the quick. Okay, so those are some of the things, the initial things that we should do when starting out doing recordings. Let's now proceed to our intent of creating a tutorial video. Okay, so I'm going to, again, this is our target screen for screen capture. Okay, we're going to create a tutorial video that teaches YouTubers how to trim out their live stream videos. Okay, so how do I do that? I'm going to delete this now. To have a fresh slate plate. So in YouTube, we have the ability, once more, we have the ability to download that content. Okay? So, nasan ba siya? So, if you're heading over to Studio, ayan, you have here download. So, I have already downloaded that video a while ago. So, it is also saved here to where my T-Rex are saved. So, ito siya, how podcasting can strengthen your confidence. Okay, so I can drag and drop this. In addition, okay, so this is a sort of big, malaking file. So this podcast is around more than an hour. Oh, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Okay? And notice, our canvas is set to 1920, diba? 1920 by 1080. Pero hindi naman to, this is not yet important. What we're trying to identify right now is the timestamps to where we should trim out that video. Okay, so in addition, again, it's a best practice also to prepare for something, diba, that you're be recording. Failing to plan, no, is planning to fail. I made a quick, a sort of script, okay, a few minutes ago before we started out this live stream on what are those things that I should say prior to starting out this video tutorial. Okay, but first, let's identify the items that we should be removing in this video. And definitely, if you head over to Studio under Editor, okay, we have the ability to scrub naman, to scrub or to identify those sections that needs to be removed. But of course, it is much slower when you're doing this directly in YouTube, okay? And we are limited with our internet connection. So I have downloaded that video and bring them over to Camtasia. And this time, let's identify that series of or sections that needs to be cut off. Okay, to zoom in and out of Camtasia, let me type in Control Shift plus or minus. Ayan, commented down. Control Shift plus minus. So that's our task here once more. It's to condense this.
We're now live.
So up to this point, we created an intro, outro. Okay, so of course, for those watching the replay, this is not necessary anymore. Okay, so I think it starts around 02/20/42. And it has a difference. Okay? Notice here as I hit Control Z. Okay, dito banda sa section, at the left of trim. Let me paste this one here. Okay, so the hours frame seconds is separated by a semicolon in YouTube, and in Camtasia, I have to manually put in the timestamp, which is here. We're going to delete this section starting from this Control Shift Plus. So that is highly suggesting you pull out a notepad as well. 02 2042. So this means 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and 42 frames starting from this position. So let me zoom out. In addition, I can zoom out by hitting Control and your scroll wheel. Okay, let me scrub this. So hanggang notice here, tahimik pa rin yung host. So up to here.
Okay, so once more.
So this one is at okay, yung total duration pala yung nalagay ko, no? This one is at 07 06. Besides the CTI or the playhead 06 16. Okay, so balik tayo. Somewhere around here at 54 seconds. And the 10 frames. Okay, so what we're doing right now is identifying those target trim points. Okay. So next, yeah, this would be probably that section. Ito. Okay, the CTI also has this green and red tab wherein I can pull this out from our CTI. Okay, this has a purpose as well. For example, if I select this red box and pull this to the right, with this area selected, I can right click, and here are some of the options or controls or actions that we can do. Diba? I can cut this, copy this, that area, delete this area, deselect, silence this audio, or simply create a new export or add this to our library here. So that's some of the uses when we're separating this green and red. Okay, so going back, condensing this once more. Our aim is to condense this. If we do a quick scrub. Ayan, so this is the main portion of the live stream. When it reaches here, we have a promotion. Ayan, somewhere around here. So again, aside from Control Shift plus and minus to zoom in, I can control and simply roll over our mouse wheel.
Highly encouraging everyone to please together with us right now. And LinkedIn on whom you are seeing right now together with us right now in LinkedIn.
Okay, so this one, zooming in. And of course, when we're doing live stream, it poses copyright strike, di ba? Copyright strike. So I think this one issues a copyright strike for that audio. So we're going to trim this out. It occurs at 1 hour, 01. 40. Again, ito guys, besides the time indicator or playhead, 40, 59, 29. Okay, 01, 40, 59, 15, 40, 59, 29. Okay, dyan siya mag-start. I'm clustering them into pairs. So this one, the first section, this one, the beginning of that section, and this one ends in somewhere around here.
Okay, we're back, and it's time for wrap.
So this one occurs at 01, 44, 20, 02. Okay? And let's inspect also the rest. Let's move forward to the right. And I think no one cares about this raffle draw anymore.
Okay, we're back, and it's time for raffle draw.
So parang hindi na rin ata mahalaga itong portion na to.
Ayan. Stay home. Sabi ni Uy. Ayan. Agul. We're now going to proceed with questions. We're now going.
So, okay. So parang from the previous one, this one, let's remove this and revise that to be up to this point in time, which is at 01, 52, 26, 05. Okay, I'm going to delete this one at the middle, making that section larger. Let's zoom out, delete natin ulit. Let's delete that. Inspecting. So this is one. This one is the Q&A portion. And I think pwede na natin, we can leave this alone na, no? And this one gives the opportunity to add cards in YouTube na. And pag nakita naman ng tao, whenever the persons already sees the main content, I think this one is okay to give tribute to the partners who made that live stream possible. So, okay, we have now defined the timestamps to trim out in YouTube using Camtasia. Okay, so let me delete na lang this and create a new one. This time, the tutorial itself, okay? But of course, I have defined that timestamp already in Camtasia. Okay, so we're about to record now. Okay, so again, I have created a quick script. Okay, opening statement for our video tutorial. Okay, so I wanted to show this section Ayan. Or siguro mas maganda mag-start tayo sa actual video itself.
You know what? Here's to going for it.
Introducing SpeechAlarm, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm
Participate by asking.
Okay? So my intent here is to capture this screen, what you're seeing right now. I'm going to hit R for record. Okay guys, so sana nakikita nyo yung green outline. If you're not, yeah, let me show this again to you and turn this into full screen. Again, ayan, recording area, making this full screen. And on my other monitor, I have my script. Okay, so I'm now going to do a screen capture, but first always check what microphone you're using. So let me revert back to analog, Focusrite. Again, this varies depending on what microphone you're using. And to remind you, we have set F1 and F2, play and stop. Okay. Ayan, I'm going now to record. So do you have sections of your... Okay, so I'm going to read this script. This one is, I'm currently viewing that script on my other monitor. I'm now going to hit F1. Do you have sections of your YouTube videos that you want to... Ayan, so mali. Okay, which normally occurs. I'm going to retake that one. I'm going to hit delete. Selecting yes, ulit-ulit. Do you have sections of your YouTube videos that you want to be trimmed out? You've come to the right place. Today, we are going to discover trimming and splitting videos in YouTube's video editor. Hitting F2. Okay, so ito na siya guys.
Do you have sections of your YouTube videos that you want to be trimmed out? You've come to the right place. Today, we are going to discover trimming and splitting videos in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, so in addition, once more, we're heading over to audio effects. Because I normally use audio compression, diba? I clicked this star to add this to favorites. Okay, so if I hit F, it goes right away F for favorites, and it's registered here on this section as audio compression because I normally use this one. So again, suggesting this, you apply this to your workflow as well. Let's now separate this track into an audio and video only. Right-clicking, again, selecting track 1, right-clicking, separate audio and video. Medyo it's kind of confusing because what I am currently doing right now, I am teaching you, sharing to you how to use Camtasia, and dalawang iniisip ko, no, I'm also thinking about how to create a YouTube a video tutorial din at the same time. So bear with me. It is kind of confusing. So again, let me select this. Add to selected media. So it's now leveled, and let's enhance this audio app. Going over to properties once more. Again, track 2 should be selected. Enabling mix to mono. Cranking this up to 250. Again, this may vary depending on your microphone. So let me play this.
Do you have have sections of your YouTube videos that you want to be trimmed out, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to discover trimming and splitting videos in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, so that's our opening statement. So again, I quickly created a while ago parang a sort of a branding video. So ito siya, let me quickly show this to you. Okay, so quick as that, 6 seconds. So again, I created this also in Camtasia. So I'm going to drag and drop this to our timeline or in our media, selecting media, right clicking, shortcut key, import media, Control I. But I prefer dragging and dropping this. Okay, moving this one here, and again, always replay or go back in time to have a feel or have a feel of the flow of your audio or a conversation. So let me play this.
Splitting videos in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, so we have a slight unnecessary audio here.
Video editor.
And hit space bar. So again, to play, it's simply hitting the space bar. So around here.
Videos in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, stopping this. So my intent now is to trim this section out of track 2 and track 1. Another method to trim this one out, I can hover over at this end. So notice the two arrows side by side. So I can left click and hold to trim this out. Okay, hitting undo. Another method I prefer is creating a window selection. So now I have selected our track 2 and track 1. And this time I'm going to select split. Again, split. The shortcut key is S. Hitting S, so it's now split into 2. So I can now select this section and simply delete. Okay, let's have this quick branding logo or video beside juxtaposed with this left track, and let's have a feel of the transition between the audio.
We are going to discover trimming and splitting videos in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, so in addition, notice the size of our branding video is small in comparison to our canvas, which is set at 1920 by 1080. So to enlarge this, we have this circular grips. Okay, I can move this up and it snaps. And you may want to also check under view, enable canvas snapping, enable playhead snapping, timeline snapping. I can move this and snap this to the upper right and grab this lower right circular handle. Okay, so it now covers up the whole frame. Okay, and for consistency, I prefer once more separating the audio and video track. So right clicking, separate audio and video.
Editor.
Okay. To zoom, the zoom extents, it's Control Shift 7. Okay, Control Shift 7. zoom extent. So what we're seeing right now, the entirety of our track.
Editor.
Okay, so next, in addition, we can move per frame. Moving frames is simply comma and period. So I'm commenting it down. Okay, so we are at the end of this logo JMRC. So if I hit comma, I'm moving one frame at a time. Okay, I'm moving to the left. Hitting period, I'm moving to the right. Okay, so I prefer seeing what our end frame is. So I'm moving my playhead to the end and hitting comma. Okay, so going back, ano kaya maganda sabihin? We gave an opening statement. YouTube's video editor is perfect for condensing live streams. Okay. So I'm going to hit R once more, resume back to video capture, screen capture. Let me screen capture na lang ito ulit, itong this live stream, and I'm going to mute this and play this now. Okay, I'm all set and prepared to hit F1 to record. YouTube. So mali. I'm going to hit delete once more. YouTube's video editor is perfect for condensing live streams. F2. Okay. So I've created a quick recording of that, adding to timeline to playhead. So this is our latest recording, which is at 3:18 in the afternoon. Okay, once more, adding compression, mix to mono, cranking this up to 250, and let's have a feel. Okay, so there's a huge silence or gap here. Of course, if there's a huge silence, it bores our audience, right? So it has to be free flowing and consistent. They should be hearing audio as much as possible. So let's trim this out. I'm going to create a window selection with these two tracks selected. I'm going to hit S to split this out, creating another selection and hitting delete. So let me select these two tracks and move this, or sticking this to our left track. So let's have a feel.
YouTube's
Okay, so this is again a perfect moment to add transitions. So let's head over to our upper left panel under transition. Again, there's a lot of transitions here, and much more if you're using the 2021 version. So let's add a simple transition, the typical fade, or how about flip? Let's check out flip. So to bring in a transition is simply left clicking and hold, okay, and move to where you want that transition to occur. So I'm moving over here between these two tracks and release. So let's check.
YouTube's video editor is perfect for condensing live streams. Live streams.
And I haven't saved this file yet. I'm going to hit S for save. Let me save this to our main project folder, copying this location, Control C, Control V, hitting enter, and let's name this trimming videos in YT. So again, the file name extension of Camtasia is TSC Proj. TechSmith Camtasia Project. Okay, let's head back, inspect.
Condensing live streams. YouTube's video editor is perfect for condensing live streams.
Ano kaya magandang sunod na sasabihin na
For condensing live streams.
okay, so siguro the next step would probably informing our students on where they can access the editor. Okay? So that editor is within this URL. Okay? So to do that, I'm gonna be showing myself typing in studio.youtube.com. So let's now prepare once more to record, hitting R to grab our recorder. Okay, so I'm going to create another tab, and this time recording the action for this section with me typing in studio.youtube.com. So again, feel free to suggest a better way on how to explain this. So preparing now to record. So my intent here is to type in studio.youtube.com. So with the recorder all set, again, let me have a feel of what happened. Okay. To access YouTube's video editor, all we need to do is head over to your favorite web browser and type in studio.youtube.com. Okay, hitting F2. But of course, when you're getting used to it, you'll be having a much more larger or time for recording a specific segment. So what we did is a quick one. So the duration, to identify a track's duration, let me park in my playhead at this position and move this this red box. I'm still holding my left mouse button, and it registers that this recording is around 17 seconds. Ayan. So that is how to identify the duration of a specific track. So let's have a feel once more. Moving this down, right-clicking, separate audio and video. Okay, hitting F for favorites, adding compression. Heading over to our properties panel, enabling mix to mono. Cranking this up to 250. And let's do a replay.
Live streams. To access YouTube's
Okay, so there's a gap here. Let's trim this out, selecting this tracks, hitting S for split, deleting this, and moving this to the left. So again, make it a habit to have a feel of the audio.
live streams. To access YouTube
So let me trim this out a bit further.
streams. To access YouTube's video editor, all we need to do is head over to your favorite web browser and type in studio.youtube.com. youtube.com.
Okay, so let me cut this.
Com.
Again, scrubbing this to have a feel. Let me pull in another YouTube channel. Ayan. Okay, once more, the shortcut key is R. Let's now prepare to record.
at youtube.com.
On your YouTube. Okay, mali ulit. So let me record once more on your YouTube. And of course, plan out what you're about to say. So my intent here is to mention that to get into the editor, head over to content. So in addition, if you're getting confused, one way of getting organized is writing down that specific script. So again, if nalilito, you're confused, kinakabahan, nahihiya, 'di ba? Better to write it down. So for example, from the dashboard, head over to content and locate editor. Okay? So I wrote down what I'm going to say. The dashboard in YouTube's dashboard, head over to content and look to content. Because pag pumunta siya ng content, okay, sige. So heading back to dashboard. Viewing in, pulling this my script to the left. Preparing to record. In your channel dashboard, head over to content. F2. So F2 to stop. Ganun lang kaikli, as short as that. I'm going to delete this excess tracks. Drag and drop. This new recorded version, separate audio and video. Adding audio compression, mix to mono 250.
In your chat.
Okay, so I think this one's a good opportunity to add another transition. Okay, so creating a selection, hitting S once more for split. S again for split, selecting this 4 tracks, hitting delete and moving this.
In your chat.
Okay. So also take note of adding too much transition because when you add too many transitions, it's kind of newbie looking, di ba? So, shortcut key for that is T for transitions. Let's just add a simple fade, okay, in between these two tracks. So let's inspect.
.com. In your channel dashboard, head over to Content,
Okay, head over.
Content,
Space bar, and to have a feel on that audio.
head over to Content,
Space bar. Okay, selecting this, hitting S for split, reminding me that the split here is where I'm going to stitch our incoming recorded .p rec.
to Content,
So this is an actual uh, training of how my workflow on using Camtasia is. Kaya if you're there, thank you for your interest. Okay. So I'm planning out what my next move is. Okay, so this is my next move. Okay, I'm going to hit R once more to bring in our recorder. Preparing now to record, guys. Okay, so previously I mentioned to head over to content. Okay, so hitting F1 to record. But first, let me check on Camtasia to where did our cursor end up. Okay, so it is still under content. Okay, take note of that. So if I head back to my target screen, I'm going to park my cursor over here at content. So again, recalling ano yung what was mentioned before.
head over to Content,
Okay. So I'm prepared to record now. I'm seeing my recorder. Under content, head over to live, and what I plan to trim out is this podcast. So heading over to details, and under details, we can head over to editor. And hitting F2. Okay? So again, deleting this. In addition, I can park my playhead at the end, head over to the target recorder, right clicking, add to timeline at playhead. So it added that asset into the our timeline, our playhead, this one. So right clicking, separate audio and video, hitting F for our favorite audio compression, right click, add to selected media. With this media selected, enabling mix to mono, cranking this to 250.
Content, under Content, Content,
Okay, trimming this out. So in addition, we can do a ripple delete, but for newbies, highly suggesting not to use this for now, because if you have other assets on some tracks, for example, you have an asset here, it will not do a universal ripple delete. So for this instance, just a quick demonstration, control delete or ripple delete.
Content, under Content, head over to Live, and what I plan out what I plan to trim,
So, I have a mistake during the recording.
and what I plan to trim out is this, and what I plan out, what I plan to trim out, and what I plan out, what I plan to, what I plan
So, somewhere around here, and
live, and what I plan out, what I plan to trim
okay,
to live,
and I should be saying,
what I plan to trim out,
so this time, instead of recording a video, okay, we're going to record an audio. So overdub. We're overdubbing right now.
and what I plan out, what I plan to trim,
Okay, and that should occur somewhere around here. To do an overdub or a voiceover, for that is a V for voice narration. Again, guys, making sure you're in the right microphone. Okay, so this is a sort of bug in this version of Camtasia. My Focusrite is not registered here, so I'm going to hit Control S. Okay, for that to come out, and Alt F4. So I'm simply closing Camtasia, reopening Camtasia again. So opening Camtasia, trim in trim videos YT. And we have a surprise later sa mga to those who are currently with us. So, may surprise.
heading over to details,
So again, going back to our target overdub.
and what I plan out, what I plan to trim out,
Okay. So again, hitting V. And this time, we now have the target audio or microphone, which is Focusrite in this scenario. So again, I should be saying,
I plan to trim out,
okay, so parking our playhead over here, and I'm going to select start voice recording. In addition, I prefer not hearing the timeline during recording, and I prefer not adding auto leveling because I intend to add an audio effect. So I am disabling this. So to disable this one should be not in the green color. So,
what I plan,
okay. And what I plan to trim out, hitting stop. And again, we have another type of asset. Okay, so it's not a WAV file, it's not a .mp3 file, it's M4A for Camtasia. So for me, I prefer naming these files by numbers for us to quickly sort this out. So naming this to 01 and pointing this out to our project folder. So best practice. Control C for the location, Control V, 01, and selecting save. Okay, so positioning this one somewhere around here, moving over here, S for split. Okay, I'm going to remove this one, bring this down, hit F for compression, add a compression, have this in stereo.
and what I plan to trim live, and what I plan to trim out,
So in addition, I can still enhance this audio by pulling this line, horizontal line.
live, and what I plan to trim out
So again, let's have a feel.
under content, head over to live, and what I plan to trim out is
Okay, so we have a gap here. Let me delete this, creating a window selection, hitting S for split, deleting this tracks or this asset, moving this to the left.
trim out is this podcast. So heading over to details, and under details, we can head details, and
So we have a sort of large gap here. We can still trim this out. Okay, S for trim. Again, selecting our tracks. Control delete for ripple delete.
details. And under details, we can head over to editor. And hitting to editor.
Okay, scrubbing this. So this one is an excess audio, so I prefer trimming this out, splitting this out, deleting this, and moving this one.
To editor. And hitting editor. And
Okay, so in addition, we can mute a specific audio by hitting Shift S. So again, silence audio is Shift S, FYI only.
editor. And hitting
Okay, so I'm planning to delete this. So this is just a placement holder for me to see what our latest action is.
editor.
Okay, so what should I be saying next? Okay, so having a thought on what I should be saying next. So previously we have identified that timestamps. Okay, so let me check if I plug in this right away. I'm adding a semicolon. If this will turn out to be 54 seconds and 10 frames. So it went to that position.
Yeah.
Why not take a look at podcast?
So 54. Or probably we should key in the correct sequence. So if this is the sequence of YouTube, so this has to be another 3 zeros. Okay, so that is what we should do. So I'm going to copy this timestamps, have another notepad because my intent here is to show this notepad. So let's check. 7. So recalling
To editor. So we can
our previous recording.
head over to editor and hitting F to editor.
So hitting R, preparing to record. I have now here our recorder. Thinking on what I should say. So what we should say is probably I have gone ahead and okay. So I created a script for what I should say, not to be confused. Again, preparing to record. Here's the recorder. I'm going now to hit F1. I have gone ahead. In addition, I have gone ahead and identified the sections to be trimmed out in this live stream and pasted them down in a notepad. So here's the timestamps. With these timestamps, I'm going to copy each of this and paste this on this box, which registers the hours, minutes, seconds, and the frames. I'm going to select them all, hit Control V, and notice the playhead moves to this timestamp. Okay, so I hit F2. That's a sort of 40-second recording. Let me delete this. Add this to my timeline playhead, separate audio, add audio compression, making this in stereo.
Editor. In addition, I have gone ahead and identified the sections to be trimmed out in this live stream and pasted them down in a notepad. So here's the timestamps.
Hello, hello.
With these timestamps,
Okay, so we're getting the hang of it. That's why we have recorded a larger duration.
Editor.
Okay, so trimming this again.
Editor. In addition, I have gone ahead and identified the sections to be trimmed out in this live stream and pasted them down in a notepad. So here's the timestamps. With these timestamps, I'm going to copy each of this and paste this on this box, which registers
Okay, trim this out.
box, which registers the hours, minutes, seconds, and the frames. I'm going to select them all, hit Control V, and notice the playhead moves to this timestamp. And notice the playhead, and notice the playhead moves to this.
Move. So I think it should be moved.
And notice the playhead moves to this time. And notice the playhead moves to this.
Okay, so let's do an overdub. Splitting this out.
And notice the playhead moves to this. And notice
Hitting V for voice narration.
and notice
So again, there's a slider here pertaining to the audio level.
and notice the playhead moves.
Okay, so preparing to record, moving further to the left.
And notice the playhead moves to this timestamp.
Notice the playhead moved to this timestamp. Hitting stop. Okay, so again, best practice. This time it's now 02. Splitting this, deleting this audio, moving this down, deleting this one. F for compression, adding compression, and making this into stereo and cranking this up to 250.
To minutes, seconds, and the frames. I'm going to select them all, hit Control V. Notice the playhead moved.
Okay, so we need to raise the audio levels of this.
Seconds and the frames. I'm going to select them all, hit Control V. Notice the playhead moved to this timestamp. Timestamp.
Okay, splitting this one, splitting the end once more, preparing to record. And recalling to where our cursor is. Okay. Grabbing our recorder, hitting R. From here, I'm going to select trim. And below, notice we have a split, cancel, and a preview. I'm going to select split. hover my cursor over this blue vertical line, move this one. Let me grab our notepad, copy the second timestamp, pasting this one here, Control V. Once more, Control V, playhead park in the right position. I'm now going to reselect this blue vertical line over to our playhead. In addition, we can head over to our right panel and magnify this, moving this black dot to the right, heading back to our split line, moving this to the left, coinciding with our playhead. Okay, so I paused a bit. Someone sneezed. Okay, so resuming, hitting F1 and zooming out. Moving this black slider or dot to the left. And I hit F2. Okay, so from here we have now trimmed out this portion. Heading back to Camtasia, importing that recorded video, doing this one here, deleting this assets, right clicking, separate audio and video, hitting F, adding audio compression. Okay, mix to mono, cranking this to 250, and let's check.
This timestamp. From here, I'm going to select Control V. Notice the playhead moved to this timestamp. From here, I'm going to select Trim.
Okay, large portion of silence, trimming this out.
Trim. And below, notice we have a split, cancel, and a preview.
Okay, so this is a good time to add annotations to emphasize the lower control panel. So with that, again, Camtasia has great tools for this. I'm going to head over to annotation. And this time, head over to call outs. Under blur and highlight, I'm going to select highlight. So I'm going to drag and drop this. Okay. And on our properties, inverting this and changing the color to black. Okay. And for the opacity, I prefer having this at 60. And let's resize this highlight. Okay, inspecting.
Trim. And below, notice we have a...
Okay, so we can also add, again, a transition on this type of annotation. So heading over to transition, I'm going to add a fade transition on this highlighter effect. Okay. So let me zoom this, fit this to view.
I'm going to select Trim. And below, notice we have a split, cancel, and a preview. I'm going to select split.
Okay, so you may change the duration by hovering over your cursor this to elongate this.
The preview. I'm going to select split. Hover my split. Hover my cursor over this blue vertical line. Move this one. Let me grab our notepad. Copy the second timestamp. Pasting this one here. Control V. Once more. Control V. Playhead park and the right.
Okay, so yep, some of you may be wondering what if do we have a a feature where we can zoom in. So yes, we do have. So I guess this is a great opportunity to show you zooming in to a specific area.
V, playhead.
Okay, so during this silence, let's head over to animation. Okay, so this time I'm going to move this slider. Head over to our canvas, move this one here. So notice below we have created an arrow. So let's check.
Control V, playhead, park in the right position. I'm now going to reselect
So again, we have created a zoom in animation.
Control V, playhead, park in the right position. I'm now going to reselect this blue vertical line over to our playhead. In addition, we can head over
So we need to highlight what's happening on the right. So we need to head back during this time. So with the track 1 video selected, I'm going to select this time scale to fit. So notice we have created another effect. Let's inspect.
Control V, playhead, park in the right position. I'm now going to reselect this blue vertical line over to our playhead. In addition, we can head over to our right panel and magnify this, moving this black dot to the right, heading back to our split line, moving this to the left, coinciding with our playhead.
Okay, so this is also the time wherein someone sneezed.
Coinciding with our playhead.
So again, a great opportunity to do overdub.
Coinciding with our
I'm going to move our playhead around here. Hit V for voice narration.
left, coinciding with our playhead.
Okay, so coinciding with our playhead. Hitting stop. Okay, so naming this to 03. Okay, so deleting this audio, moving this down, adding compression, mix to mono. So again, if you don't have a well-treated studio or room, if a dog suddenly bark, you can do overdubs to correct that audio.
Left, coinciding with our heading back to our split line, moving this to the left, coinciding with our play.
So I'm kind of hitting a abrupt change.
Heading back to our split line, moving this to the left, coinciding with our playhead.
So it can be forgivable, but of course you may re-record or overdub this portion out.
Heading back to playhead.
Okay, moving. Inspecting, so let me trim this out. Hitting S for split. Selecting this track, hitting S, deleting this, moving this.
Playhead. And zooming out, moving this black slider or dot to the left.
Okay, splitting once more. Let's head back to recording with Camtasia selected, hitting R or selecting record. Again, recalling.
Dot to the left.
Let's recall to where I place my cursor. So once more, it's there. Heading back here. And recalling our notepad. Hitting F1 to record. Again. Let's trim out another section, grabbing our notepad, copying this timestamp, pasting this one here, Control V. So if that didn't move, simply head over once more to any specific location and hit Control V. So notice our playhead moved here. Now it's the opportunity to hit split. Okay, heading back, moving our split line, grabbing our timestamp, copying this. Let me hover over here, move our playhead anywhere here, hit Control V, and once it moves, it's in the right position. So let's move this vertical split line coinciding with our playhead, and to refine this, moving this slider once more, moving our split line coinciding with our playhead. Let's zoom out and hitting F2. So once more, we're done with that recording, deleting this tail, add timeline, add to timeline, add playhead, separating this, right clicking, adding audio compression mix to mono 250. Spec.
Slider or dot to the left. Let's trim out another section, grabbing our notepad, copying this timestamp, pasting this one here, Control V. So if that didn't move, simply head over once more to any specific location and hit Control V. So notice our playhead moved here. Now it's the opportunity to hit split. Okay, heading back, moving our split line, grabbing our timestamp, copying this. Let me hover over here, move our playhead anywhere here, hit Control V, and once it moves, it's in the right position. So let's move this vertical split, and once it moves.
Okay, here's another opportunity to emphasize that action. Let's create another annotation. Let's highlight. Let's create another highlight over this area. Okay, inverting this, changing the color to black, and changing the opacity to 60. And hit P for transition. Let's add a fade transition. And this time, if we want to add an effect to both ends, all we need to do is drop that effect at the middle. So notice the ends highlighting, release. Let's inspect.
And once it moves, it's in the right position. So let's move this vertical split line coinciding with our playhead, and to refine this, moving this slider once more, moving our split line coinciding with our playhead. Let's zoom out.
Okay, splitting this once more. We're about to get finished. So recall, we typed in the URL in addition. Yes, we can add
To access
text.
YouTube's video editor, all we need to do is head over to your favorite web browser and type in.
Okay, so at this moment, we can head over to annotations. Okay, so under call outs, let me grab this call out, drag and drop. Let's change the color to Camtasia green. Okay, and from here I'm going to paste in the location of that URL. So double clicking here, Control V, let's resize this, and change the color of the font to white, have this bold, and remove the stroke. We have a stroke here. Okay, so outline. Let me crank up the opacity to 0. Okay, so let's fit and inspect.
And type in studio.youtube.com.
Okay, so with this, we can also add, this time, let's discover behaviors. So heading over to behavior, and I prefer sliding. So left click and hold, drag and drop to this call out. So as I select call out, notice at our properties, we now have a sliding. So let's inspect.
Web browser and type in studio.youtube.com.
Okay, so that's a quick behavior effect. Again, we can tweak this out. If you prefer this sliding during its out phase, it's going to the left direction. We have the option to do that, adjust the speeds, and now some of the parameters here. So let's inspect again.
And type in studio.youtube.com.
And in addition, I prefer not this effect not to be pulsating. So heading over to opacity, cranking this up to 100. Let's inspect.
And type in studio.youtube.com.
Okay, Control Shift 7 to zoom out.
It's in the right position. So let's move this vertical split line coinciding with our playhead, and to refine this, moving this slider once more, moving our split line coinciding with our playhead. Let's zoom out. Do you have
Okay, Control Shift Plus to zoom in. Let's head back to our target screen. Recall to where we have placed our cursor, so somewhere around here. And let's hit R for our recorder. Okay, gathering my thoughts. With the section to be trimmed now defined, to add the trim, we can now head over to preview, or if we have a change in mind, we can select clear all. Definitely, we're in the right track, selecting preview. And from here, to finally commit to this trim, we're going to head up and select save. And from here, simply selecting save once more. Video is now processed, giving this a few minutes or hours. And once this grayed area, turns back to the original color, definitely this video or live stream video is now trimmed. And that's trimming and cutting sections in YouTube's video editor. Okay, so we're almost done.
Let's zoom out to the section.
Trimming this out,
Let's zoom
inspecting.
out to the section to be trimmed, now defined. To add the trim, we can now head over to preview, or if we have a change in mind, we can select clear all. Definitely, we're in the right track, selecting preview.
Okay, so let's add additional annotations. So with this preview, let me head over to transition. How about adding an arrow pointing to that preview button? So heading over to arrows and lines, selecting this arrow, placing this one here. Let's zoom in, pointing this one here, zooming in. So I'm simply rotating my scroll wheel. Let's other properties. Let's change the style, modify its thickness, change the color. How about to red? Inspecting
Selecting preview.
and add a transition. This time fade, drag and drop at the middle to apply the fade effect on both ends.
Selecting preview. View.
Let me shorten this up or move this to the left.
Selecting preview. And from here,
Okay, trimming out this moments of silence. So notice I have multiple tracks selected. To deselect, it's simply hitting Control D. Deleting this.
and from here, to finally commit to this trim, we're going to head up and select save.
Okay, let's speed this up. In addition, we can speed up a specific section of our track. So I'm going to trim this one here, trim this one here, select the video, and this time I'm going to right click and select add clip speed. So we're speeding this up to its new duration of 29 frames, trimming this one, delete, moving this one to the left, and let's inspect.
And from here, simply selecting save once more. Video is now processed, giving this a few minutes or hours.
Another moment of silence, speeding things up.
Hours. And once this area, grade area, turns back to the original color, definitely this video or live stream video is now trimmed. Now trimmed. That's trimming and cutting sections in YouTube's video editor.
Okay, so we're nearly done. So if ever you have brandings, we can bring in some logos. How about I bring in over my logo? So I have here a PNG file. So I'm going to drag and drop it here for the end frame. Okay, so I can create a sort of slow scaling. In addition, notice this asset is a PNG file. I can adjust its duration. Let's say Selecting this, right clicking, selecting duration to be around, I prefer 3 seconds only. Let me move my playhead to the end, move one frame, head over to animation, and this time with the logo selected, let me type in 60, hit enter, and notice we have created an arrow here representing an effect being made. Let me pull the end of this arrow all the way to the left. Hit T for transition. Add a fade transition in between this video and our logo. Let's inspect. Okay. And finally, we can also, to prevent accidental movements of our assets, I can hit Control A to select them all. Hit Control G to group them. My next intent here is from our library. Let's check if we have medias, or if not, we can add in. So I think I need to register this to access the library. But of course, we have YouTube already opened. Let me download a quick background music, which is under audio library. Let's search for one. Okay, so I'm okay with MirrorMind, downloading this. Of course, one of the advantage when using audio library of YouTube is, of course, the copyright strike. So it's free to use. Once more, be mindful of the audios you are using, because that may hold a or may give you a copyright strike, or you may lose your monetization feature. So downloading this audio. Again, you may be wondering how to add audio. Once more, simple in Camtasia. So here's the audio, dragging and dropping. I'm going to ungroup once more this track. Hit Control U to ungroup. Moving this one down. Okay, and Control U. Let me align our audio with the vocals. So zooming in.
Do you have sec?
Okay, enlarging the height of this track. Okay, so let me trim this. Okay, let's add audio points. And to add an audio point is simply hovering over that audio, right clicking, and select add audio point. Okay, so I'm going to split this audio into two somewhere around here. Hit S and move this to the end. Let's zoom in. Align the tail of this audio with our end, the frame. Park our playhead at the end of this audio, right clicking, selecting add a point. Okay, pull this, add another point, this time at the end of this audio, add right clicking, add point, moving this one, and pulling this one down. Let me hit undo and add another point at this end, right clicking, add point. From here, I can select these 2 points, holding shift, and with these 2 points selected, pulling this one. So I prefer somewhere around 5%.
If we have a change in mind, we can select clear all. Definitely, we're in the right tracks.
Okay, so same here. Adding another audio point here. Adding another audio point, selecting these 2 points. So take note. And pulling this horizontal line down. Same with the other one, around 5%. Let's check.
Do you have sections of your YouTube videos that you want to be trimmed out? You've come to the right place. Today, we are going to discover trimming and splitting videos in YouTube's video editor. YouTube's video
Okay, so we have a conflict of audio. With our branding video. So snapping this one here, snapping this one here. And from here, we can silence this out by hitting Shift S.
in YouTube's video editor. YouTube's video editor is perfect for condensing live streams. To access YouTube's video editor, all we need to do is head over to your favorite web browser and type in studio.youtube.com. In your channel dashboard,
Okay, so let's add a slow fade for this not to be abrupt, around 1 second. Adding another point here and pulling this point at the bottom. So same with this audio at the right. Addition, saying hi to Richard Raysag. Kawawa daw ako.
we can select clear all. Definitely, we're in the right track, selecting preview.
Okay, so that's it. It took us around 2 hours, of course, because we're also teaching. But for me, it would probably take me around, depending on how well I have prepared for a specific topic. This one would probably be taking me around 30 minutes or so. Okay, so before we receive your comments and questions, let me hand you over to Miss Nelsie for some announcements.
Hi everyone, if you have questions, feel free to post it in our comment section. Okay. Yeah, if you have questions, drop it lang sa ating comment section, and inviting you to join us in Facebook. We have Camtasia users worldwide. I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, inviting you to join Camtasia users worldwide. To those who haven't joined, please do join and invite your friends who might be interested to join our future training in Camtasia. Please do join us in Facebook and LinkedIn. And for our attendance this afternoon, kindly comment hashtag Camtasia users worldwide. Okay, for our attendance check, hashtag Camtasia users worldwide. Okay, well, we are waiting for your comments and your questions. Okay,
Okay, whew, that was a long one. For those who are still with us, we have a token of appreciation to all of you. If you're seeing my screen, we're about to create another course for this time about Camtasia. And if you want to learn Camtasia, enrollment is now absolutely free for all who are currently registered. So once this is out, this will be free to all of you guys. So once more, in creating this video course, all of this was made in Camtasia. So again, in Tagalog, para po sa lahat ng nandito ngayon. So when this course is created, you are free to view this. You'll be receiving a certificate of course completion. So again, linked. The link is pasted in the comment section. Feel free to enroll in this course now. This is a token of appreciation to all who are with us. After you guys, this will probably be not free anymore. Okay, so I think that's my commitment to finish up and create this course to those, most especially to those who are with us this afternoon. So again, linked in the description below. You may now enroll, and once this is done, we're going to inform you. So this will be a more in-depth and a condensed version of what you have learned this afternoon. So again, hoping this helps. Sana nakatulong tayo. We hope we have been a blessing. than a burden. And yeah, thank you so much and good afternoon. Once more, feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn. If ever you have comments, questions, suggestions on how we can serve you better and on how mas makatulong pa tayo lalo sa iba. Ayan. So, God bless and good afternoon. Miss Delcy?
Okay, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you in our next Camtasia course. And of course, kindly join us in Digital Creatives Philippines. Like and follow MechaniWeb's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also, we have our Digital Creatives Philippines in Facebook and in LinkedIn. And we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone for joining.
With TechSmith Camtasia, you can easily make amazing videos and screencasts. Starting a new project is simple. Record your desktop with Camtasia's built-in screen recorder, or bring in your own video files. Drag and drop animated backgrounds, intros, and more from the Camtasia library. And with just a few clicks, you can change the colors and fonts to match your style and branding. Make your video stand out with visual effects like animations, cursor highlights, device frames, then add a final touch with callouts, professional graphics, royalty-free music, and so much more. Now you have a professional video that gets results, and you saved time and money by creating it with Camtasia. Join the over 14 million trainers, marketers, and educators who use TechSmith Camtasia to easily create professional videos every day.
Camtasia 2021 is here. Hi, I'm Andy from TechSmith. Let's jump right into showing off all the new effects we've packed into this release with Joe Dearman, a senior user experience designer here at TechSmith. Take it away, Joe.
Camtasia 2021 comes loaded with dozens and dozens of new transitions. Now, if you do a lot of edits with your screen recording, maybe you're trying to cut down the duration, or maybe you're cutting between talking head footage and screen recording content, or from one portion of a workflow to the next, or from one application to another, choosing the right transition will go a long way in helping that viewer discern that shift of context. But it also is a great shortcut for getting pro animation results or pro animator results as a beginner. So I want to show you one example here today. You can see I have some text on my canvas that I've done in Camtasia here. I have my subtitle at the top, this little crossbar, and then a big headline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all three of these pieces of media, and I'm just going to go over to the left of the screen and select transitions. And you're going to see this long list of beautiful transitions to choose from. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the blur slide. That's one of my favorites, and you can see I've marked the gold star here. And I'm going to go ahead and drag that onto the media, and let's go ahead and preview what we get just out of the box. Another way to really level up and make your videos more cinematic is a new feature in Camtasia 2021 called motion blur. It's a visual effect. Now I'll show it to you really quickly here. I have my simple title treatment, and I've added the explode behavior. And so the characters explode into view, and you can see all of them are pretty crisp and intact. Now if I move over to visual effects and I grab motion blur and drag it on, right away you can see all of this really expressive blur that just gives that story of speed and quickness to the eye. Let's go ahead and preview it and see how it looks. Just like that, really cool touch and polish to your animation. Another feature I've been using a lot in Camtasia 2021 is corner rounding. If you've ever wanted to just give a more refined look to your webcam footage overlaying on screen recording or your slides, This is a really great way to do it. It's just a nice refined look. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate over to the visual effects bin in Camtasia and just grab the corner rounding effect and just drag it right onto my webcam footage. And I'm just going to increase the radius here. And just like that, you can see I've made a nice little app icon type treatment. And it only just took a couple clicks of the mouse. Have you ever noticed that great videos tend to have one thing in common, and that is great audio? That's been my observation. And one of the ways to do great audio in a video is adding background music. And in the past, that's a really time-consuming thing to do. But in Camtasia 2021, we've made it really easy to emphasize the tracks that you want to be audibly louder than, say, a background music track. Let me show you what I mean. Here I have added a background music track and I have my voiceover narration. All I'm going to do is just click and drag the emphasize audio effect onto my narrator media. And let's just go ahead and hear what it sounds like right out of the box. I have a little intro I've designed. Let's go ahead and see for ourselves or hear for ourselves. Adding great sounding audio to your videos is just a click away in Camtasia 2021. Camtasia 2021 also comes with a new visual effect called the Media Matte effect. This allows you to transform otherwise ordinary text, shapes, and even footage into eye-catching visuals and motion graphics that'll have your friends and colleagues wondering how you did it. Add stunning color grading treatments with the Color LUT or Color Lookup Table visual effect in Camtasia 2021. This is the same file format used by professional filmmakers and photographers all over the world. If you've ever wanted to add dynamic and expressive character animations to your videos, look no further than Camtasia 2021. We've added the ability to import Lottie files, which allow you to import animations made by pro animators and other tools. We've also added the ability to quickly turn off or on visual and audio effects in Camtasia. This will give you freedom and flexibility to experiment with the various enhancements you're making to your videos. Our simple to use and efficient zoom and pan workflow has now made it to the Mac platform. With this tool, you can quickly draw your viewers' attention to key moments with smooth and effective animations.
Thanks, Joe. On top of all those sweet new effects, Camtasia 2021 has streamlined the custom asset creation process and smoothed out your high-resolution video workflow. Kelly Rush, product manager from the Camtasia team, can tell you all about it. Kelly?
Thanks, Andy. Let's take a look at some of the new enhancements we have in Camtasia 2021 that will help with asset creation and streamlining your editing workflow. If you've used the library in Camtasia before, or especially if you've used the TechSmith Asset Store, then you'll know that there's some great customizable motion graphics and animations available. In Camtasia 2021, we're going to be making the same tools we've used to create these assets available to you. With Camtasia's new Auto Quick Properties, all you need to do to make a new Quick Property asset is add your timeline objects to a group. Once you've done that, Camtasia will automatically look through your objects and assign properties to your new asset so that you, or others you're collaborating with, can quickly and easily edit and update assets for future videos. Sometimes you'll find that you want to customize your asset's properties even more. If that's the case, simply select your asset and launch the Quick Property Editor. With this new editor, you'll have more detailed control over the properties that are exposed for your asset. You can change property field labels, adjust listing position, and even remove properties altogether. A great way to organize sections of video on your Camtasia timeline is by using groups. In Camtasia 2021, we've adjusted the interface and workflow for how groups work. Like before, to group parts of your timeline, simply select all of the objects you want to group and choose Group. Previously in Camtasia, your media would be moved into a collapsible shelf. In Camtasia 2021, groups are now presented in a tabbed interface, allowing you to have multiple tabs open simultaneously. This makes moving between groups much easier, especially when building more complex assets that contain nested groups. Camtasia is great for editing all sorts of high-definition video, but sometimes working with multiple HD or even 4K videos at a time can bring even the most powerful systems to a crawl. To help with that, Camtasia 2021 is introducing Proxy videos. A proxy video will create a temporary, lower fidelity copy of your video to use during the editing process. This will allow you to edit more complex projects at a higher playback frame rate. When you produce your video, Camtasia automatically swaps back to the higher fidelity original video, leaving you with a great looking final video. One of the challenges of working with more complex projects is keeping your source media files organized, and often the end result is having files scattered all over your hard drive. This becomes especially problematic when it's time to share your project with a colleague, or if you need to move your project to a different computer to work on. To make this easier, Camtasia 2021 is including standalone projects. When you save your project as a standalone project, any media you import into Camtasia will be automatically stored in the standalone project container. This will keep all your project files in one spot, allowing you to easily copy and share them across your different devices or with other collaborators on your video. I'll send you back to Andy to take things home.
Thanks, Kelly. All right, to wrap it up, I think you've seen something that made you go, I have to try that. And you can. Download Camtasia 2021 today.